the other day. I said, I'm black every month, but this month I'm blackity black, okay?
Okay, super black. Black on everything black, right?
Absolutely. And I love just all of, the positive historical moments that are shared across the timelines. Of course, when you go on Instagram and Facebook, like, it's amazing. We are definitely an amazing group of people, for sure.
Yes, we are. There is nothing like us. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. So I'm very excited to speak to you today. And it's just a pleasure to actually have the opportunity to sit down and meet you, because it's so funny. When I first initially started watching Love and Marriage Huntsville, I looked at my husband and I was like, she reminds me of my good girlfriend. I have a good girlfriend. And when I tell you, I am proof positive that God makes at least two of us. Now, where he places us, I don't know, but he makes at least two of us, not exactly identical, but it's so many characteristics and traits about you that just reminds me of my friend. So I automatically felt some type of connection to you. So,
oh, that's awesome. We have those experiences where you meet someone and they totally remind you of someone you already know. Even the mannerisms or the way they talk and things. That's the like. So I get it.
Absolutely. So, Miss Holt, I tuned into Love and Marriage Huntsville on Saturday night. And now I've been watching since the inception of the show. And one of the things that I loved about the show, I was like, yo, this is dope, because it's showing couples, who are entrepreneurs, who are doing big things, as far as your businesses, and you're coming together to work on this project. And then I was like, fast forward, wait a minute. And for me, it was like, of course it makes for good TV, but it was kind of saddening to me just to see the evolution of the couples and the friendships and things that happened. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think that's life.
Yeah.
Have to understand that what they're seeing on TV is real life. Or how many people do you know who tried to come together for a good cause or go into business together?
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, like in our situation, maybe two of the individuals end up, separating, divorcing, or two friends fall out. And it's like, oh, dang, the idea we had to do this together. Now, it puts kind of a little, kind of takes away from the main purpose and the main mission to begin with. So it's kind of the same thing. It's like, it's real life. Every time people come together and want to do something great, it doesn't mean it's always gonna work out.
Absolutely. I guess that's the reality of the reality TV aspect, right?
Absolutely.
Now coming in, did you expect it? Because you're a producer of the show, right?
Yes.
Okay, so coming in, I know you probably had an idea of what you wanted the show to be, and I know, I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I take my hat off to you, because living your life in the public, where people feel like they have the right to chime in, they have the right to tell you what they think. And, some of us struggle just living our lives behind closed doors. So I take my hat off to you, as well as the other cast members, just for allowing us to come into your lives and see the good, the bad, the wins, what may not be considered a win, because I don't consider anything a loss, just maybe unexpected turn of events, right? And that's what we'll call it.
So expectation wise, whenever Martell and I first actually went to Carlos King, of course, who's the executive producer of the show, our idea was all about a real estate show. That is that was our idea. And from there, as we were, we completed a sizzle reel. Carlos was working on shopping that. And then he had this idea. He was like, well, look, I can get ensemble sold a lot quicker. If you want, and you got some friends that you want to bring along, then we can do that and, maybe get it sold quicker. We were like, oh yeah, we've got some friends that we're hanging out with very regularly. We're very close with them. And so from there, we introduced him to the Scotts. And so whenever initially, once that came together, the Scotts, us, and we decided we were going to do a show together, the idea, as you guys saw season 1, was for us to show Black excellence, Black success, young entrepreneurs who are out here killing it and doing the darn thing, giving back to the community, juggling, family, children, friendships, all of that. But the biggest thing was definitely the real estate aspect and redeveloping a particular area in Huntsville. So all of the extra that has come with it, no, I did not think whatsoever that that is the way that the show would go. However, it's real life and real things that are happening. And so the cameras are here. And so they are capturing real things. And I you know, Martell nor I, we wanted to be Martell and I, we wanted to be transparent. We didn't want to put up a facade and, you know, just act like everything was so perfect. And so we decided that we were going to be authentic and be transparent, and just so happened, you know, whenever we started back filming the show, something that I thought we had gotten over, that was done and over, we were moving forward in, it popped back up. So what the cameras captured. So it, you know, that's kind of what it is.
Well, you know, again, I appreciate you as well for just being transparent in your marriage, because, you know, it's very easy to sit back at home and say what you would do and share, you know, and, oh girl, I would this, and oh girl, I would that. But, you know, when you're walking in those shoes and when you're living in that, you know, it's a different situation. And for you, like commuting from Atlanta back and forth to Huntsville and, you know, figuring out where the children are going to go. And so when the new episode came on Saturday night, I tuned in, and, you know, because the trailers had us like, oh girl, I can't wait. What's going on? Because Melody, when you said, I will bop you, I said, Melody. Melody said, I will put hands on you, and not in the name of Jesus. So, you know, when I tuned in and everything and just saw what was going on, because, you know, with me being in the entertainment and celebrity news realm, you know, we get things that go on and we get the little scoops here and there before things actually hit mainstream. And I was just like, you know, I'm not going to touch that, because again, it's a marriage, and if whatever's happening with it, I'm sure they will let us know on the show. And I was actually surprised at how fully transparent you all were in that particular space. And, you know, it's hard to watch sometimes, but I appreciate you for that, because you're not the only one going through that. And by sharing your story, you're empowering other women.
Absolutely. You know, since the show, of course, it has given a rise to my platform as a whole. And, you know, while I did not expect whatsoever for my platform to become, you know, centered around infidelity, or even so much as a women empowerment, just a total women empowerment platform. But since the show has aired, I have so many women who are in my DM who have been through what I'm going through, or who are currently going through what I'm going through. And it's just amazing, the encouragement and the power that there is in sharing your stories and being honest and being real, and how you can really pull strength when you are that you can pull strength from one another. There have been plenty of days where I get up and I have the perfect DM in my inbox from another woman, you know, who's like, look, I just want to tell you this today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
I reciprocate, and I do that same thing. I'll do a post where I'm just encouraging people for the day. And, you know, that's what it's all about. Life is tough. Life is hard. No one said that it was going to be easy, but it is important for us to be here for one another.
It is. It is. Another aspect of the show that I know that we'll dig a little deeper into going into the season is your friendship, or lack thereof, with Letitia. And, you know, and it's so funny, because just watching that, you know, sometimes I have a little PTSD, because, you know, I don't think there's a woman on the planet who has not gone through something of that similar nature as far as a friend is concerned. And, you know, I was hoping, you know, at one point in time, the two of you seem like kind of like oil and vinegar, right? If you mix y'all together, make a good salad. But if it sit too long, y'all gonna separate. If it sits too long, y'all gonna separate. But if you mix you up real good, you make a good salad. And so I know you don't want to give away anything going on into the season, but I know that you guys at least try to see where that friendship is going. Is there anything that you want to say as far as that is concerned, without giving away too much of what's coming in the season?
Well, sure. You know, like you mentioned, even with friendship, so that's any kind of relationship, you know, romantic or platonic, there are going to be issues. There are going to be, you know, certain things that happen that aren't always. So with Letitia and I, you know, it's one of those situations. It's funny that you mentioned, it seemed like we were like oil and vinegar mixed together very well. Sit too long, there's an issue. Well, the interesting thing is that there was a time when she and I could kick it and hang out all the time, and there was no issue between us. Honestly, this is the first time, me and Letitia's issue. This is the I've ever really had an issue with a friend.
Oh,
Ever.
wow. Okay.
So it's definitely new for me. And I really don't know, where it really came from specifically. I do talk a little bit on the show about where I think it all came from. So y'all
Okay.
stay for that, because I do make sure I bring that up and lay out some facts. However, that was kind of, I got a rebuttal for that. So, hey,
Okay.
but I will say is that friendships go through things. You're definitely going to see her. She and I try to, patch things up and at least be cordial with one another. So there are going to be some interesting moments.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this trip. I'm, yeah. Look at you. Look, you lean back on that one. I said,
That was a great idea, for us to have a girls trip. That was a great idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
But things don't always go as planned. So y'all got to watch and stay tuned and see how all of that unfolds.
Absolutely. How is life as a reality TV star, just in addition to all of the amazing things that you have going on? How does reality TV star fit into who Melody Holt already is? Because it just seems so interesting.
You know what? I like to say that I truly feel that I was groomed, growing up, through all of my childhood years, that God really groomed me for this. I've always kind of thankfully been able to do a lot of things, from singing, performing, playing for my church. So being in front of people and being looked at when I go to the grocery store, when I go anywhere, people knowing who I am, that's been my life for even before reality TV. And so
Right.
it's just adds another layer and more eyes, but another layer. But
Yes.
it didn't throw me off too much. It doesn't bother me. I'm not too moved by people's opinions at all. And honestly, I'm just thankful that reality TV has given me an opportunity to just really grow my platform and be able to touch way more people than I was able to touch and reach before reality TV.
So let's talk about that touch and that reach, because you are really out here getting it. And I am so proud of you. Not that my proudness matters, but I am just so proud of you. I just love watching just women evolve. And, you stepped into this reality TV space, and even coming in, it was no secret that you were already a successful, beautiful woman. You were a wife, you're a mom, successful, you have your business, you are about your business, because there are a lot of people who have businesses that aren't quite about their business, but we ain't gonna get into that today. But, it's just watching you evolve, and now you're hosting Behind Every Man. And how did that come about? And
You
how are
know,
you loving that?
Let me tell you, I actually love hosting Behind Every Man. When I got the call about the opportunity, I literally cried. And the tears were because, sometimes you're moving in life and you don't know, or you become uncertain, like, God, is this the way I'm supposed to go? Is this what you want me to be doing? But sometimes he'll send you signs and confirmation that you're on the right path. And that's what that call that day was for me. And when I got the phone call, and I was told what the idea and the concept was, it just touched my heart so much, because, when it comes to women and our strength and the strength in our stories and the strength in our togetherness, being able to host something that highlights so many beautiful women who have gone through things in life, but refuse to let those things break them. And you mean to tell me I'm going to be hosting? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It was like one of those aha moments, like, you know what I'm saying? And I
Yep.
cried when Carlos called to tell me about the opportunity. And of course, I love the fact that it moves me away from, because, with reality TV, you got to have drama. So it moves me away from drama, which is something I never really wanted anyway, was the drama piece. And so it allows me to kind of be in my element. And when you're doing what you love, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't even feel like work. Like, I'll share a little insider secret with you.
Okay, I'm in.
So with Behind Every Man, I filmed and recorded, because, we did this during COVID, so we had to be very particular about how we did things. And I filmed and I recorded all of my host openings. Girl, how about when we sent the doggone chips back to LA? Guess what? It wasn't. So I had
No.
all over again.
Oh, wow.
That's for you. And so, what I learned in that process was tenacity, patience, and then it didn't make me too upset. I was a little bothered. I'm like, dang, I got to do all hair again, makeup again,
Yeah.
all of that. Make sure I still remember these lines.
Right.
But it was one of those things where it was just like, okay, Mel, okay, you've got this. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes everything is just going to be super duper easy and easy. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to put the toughness in things as well. And so, girl, we spent it was a long day, but we were okay.
But you always rise to the challenge. You always rise to the challenge. And I think, you know, I love that you said that, because even in everything that we go through in life, it's either it shows us what we have in ourselves. You know, for you, you were like, I knocked out them openings. Boom, we good. I'm about to be hosting this show. And then they like, Melody, you gonna have to do it again. And you know,
more concerned than I was. I feel like it was Carlos and didn't want to call me and be like, and they were like, I'm so sorry, Melody. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, it's all good. It's okay. Hey, we're going to make it do what it do. We'll redo them. Just let me know the date. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I try, even with challenges that come my way, I try my best to smile, keep pushing, keep moving, and knowing that, you know, it's preparing me, because everything that you're doing is preparing you, is progressing you. You know what I'm saying? It's propelling all of that. So I try to still do it with a smile and just see the big, you know, the bigger picture of everything.
Absolutely. So, you know what, I think this is a perfect time to ask, you know, with everything that you've gone through, challenges, wins, you know, opportunities, what have you learned about yourself that you already didn't know, or that you thought you knew, but now you know for certain going through all of this process?
That's a good question, girl.
Thank you, girl. I do this. See, this is what I do. I tried to put my hair to one side and be like you today too. I tried to, but you know.
You know, I think for me, what I would say is that I've always, you know, I grew up in the church. So I've always had this spiritual connection. I've had this spiritual relationship with our Creator. And I think for me, with everything I've gone through, while I knew, and it's so crazy, because I tell people I'm a dreamer. So ever since I was a kid, I would dream certain things, and then they, you know, it would happen. And so while I knew that intuition wise, I had a very strong, very, very strong intuition, very strong connection with God. I think that going through everything that I've gone through, it has made me trust my intuition a whole lot more. Things that maybe could get past me 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago can't get past me today. I roll with Mel's intuition. Like, that's real talk. Nobody that can convince me. You can't come telling me all these stories, sob stories. I love you. I'm going to do it again, or whatever the case may be. You can't ever do that to me again, because now more than ever, I know my intuition is on point. And I think we all go through that, because intuition, it ain't something you can see. You can't touch it with your eyes. Don't hear it. It's a feeling. You know what I mean? So it's easy to question that, like, but what if it's kind of off? Or what if I ain't right? At this point in my life, I don't have those questions anymore. When I feel something now, when my intuition tells me something, I run with it, and that's it. And I laugh sometimes, because, you know, my management team, they may bring me deals. And if I don't feel that is a good deal, if it ain't seem quite right, I'd be like, yeah, no, And they'd be like, oh, the girl, but this is set. I'm like, yeah, I'm not feeling that. I'm not, and they already know though. When I'm giving a no, they know, okay, there's a reason. They understand my intuition as well. And then later they end up being like, I'm glad we did such and such. Like, but I felt in my spirit. So my intuition and trusting that is on a whole nother level.
Absolutely. You know, and that's so funny because a lot of times we, you know, I think I heard someone say one time that intuition is like God whispering in your ear.
Yeah,
And, you
yeah,
know, a lot of times we like, and we second guess, but no,
yeah.
it's a reason why you had that thought. It's a reason. So I really love that. And I'm going to start listening to my intuition a little more because I'm that person that's like, and then when the cops show up, I'll be like, damn, I knew,
I know.
I knew.
Yes,
See,
that's how we
see. When the police show up, you be like, I knew. Yeah. But anyway, enough about me.
So after so many of those, I knew you got to start rolling with what you feel. You've got to roll with it. And so
Yeah,
I would,
absolutely.
anyone, man or woman, follow your gut feeling. It's
Mm-hmm.
and I just feel like that's a way that God speaks to us, and you got to follow it.
Absolutely. So now you also offer some courses or
I
some, so let's talk about that a little bit.
Absolutely. So it's so crazy because this was actually birthed during the pandemic.
Okay.
I actually had my first HOLT Preservation Academy course. I started the first one in June of 2020.
Okay.
Since then, I've created over about 190 entrepreneurs, mostly African American females. And, you know, it's one of those things where I had the idea, I had the concept. Now we're about to go to intuition again. I
Okay,
had
let's go.
the concept years ago, but I never rolled it out. And so because I've been in the property preservation industry it's so long, 10 plus years, I knew that was my field of expertise. And so when the pandemic came in and I'd left in April and moved out in April, and then May, here's what happened, May.
Okay.
I woke up, I had not advertised this class. I had not talked about this class for real. It was on my website to purchase, but I really hadn't even said anything about it. And you would have to literally find it on the website to get there, right?
Right, right.
Woke up one morning in May, and this is when I had started doing this affirmation every morning, which is God is my source.
Mm,
That came
okay.
from someone telling me that they were the nucleus. And I said, no, 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 no. You are not the nucleus. God is the nucleus, and God is my source. And I started
Absolutely.
today. Well, May popped in, and I woke up, and someone had paid for my class.
Wow.
PayPal email, I said, what, somebody done paid $1,500 for what? I'm like, $1,500 is my class. So,
Wow.
okay, so what you gonna do, right? This is my thing. So
Mm-hmm.
what you gonna do? Are you
Yep.
gonna refund them their money and tell them you're not doing the class right now, or what? And intuitively, what I felt was God said go.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And so in that aspect, the God said go, in the business aspect of it, it was like, all right, girl, I put all my stuff together. I lined that stuff up. And I think my first class, ended up having about 30 students in my first class when I started marketing and advertising. So I got to marketing, got to
Wow.
put everything together. And now I've had a total of like 5 classes since June of 2020. But it's
That
so,
is fantastic.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See,
Yep.
you know, God is just so amazing because, you know, I'm listening to you talk. You know, you already my friend. I don't know if you know that already, but you already my friend. But just listening to you talk, I just see so much of myself, you know, because I too have a course and I'll promote it. Like, all right, is there, I don't put all this work into it. I've created it and it'll just sit. But the minute I get that PayPal alert, I'm like, oh, I need to update it. And I need to, you know,
Uh-huh.
it's almost like God nudging you, like,
Yeah.
what you doing? What is here? What are you doing? You know, this could be helping other people. So I am so glad.
And
Shout
it's
out to the person who got it.
success stories from my students. So I do check-ins with them. They get one-on-ones with me every week. So they actually get my personal cell number. They call me, they text me at 4 in the morning, 10 at night. It's really like a family, and I call them the HPA family, Hope Preservation Academy family. So
Um,
just amazing to get those success stories of like we had a 2-week check-in on Monday, and one lady said, well, I just got awarded 3,000 inspections. She said, and I calculated, and that's 100, and she's just getting in this industry. She said that's $100,000 a year. So of course we
come
were
on now.
congratulations. So I have people all across the country, Cali,
Yeah.
Florida, Maryland, Jersey. I have people everywhere who are able to be a part of my course. And so I actually just had my last master class until the summer, but I'm about to roll out a mini course
Okay.
so it's been great. And, you know, it's about building helping people get into an industry that has been a white male dominated industry for a long time. And so I've just been enjoying seeing people prosper and become entrepreneurs.
Isn't it such a beautiful feeling?
They've been able to resign and just
That's what I'm
focus
talking.
on the business. Like, we out here.
Yes. Absolutely. Listen, you taking people to where the money resides.
Absolutely. And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb and Three Blind Mice. Okay.
Not three, but bye, Melody. I'm about to use that. So when you see me, don't say, look at her ass using my stuff. Listen, I'm having my Three Blind Mice.
Look, and then we're gonna say, and that's so Humpty Dumpty had a great fall.
There it is. There, you are so funny.